Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again, and because MH3 is getting closer and closer and closer, we'll carry on looking at some of the main set legends that we can potentially turn into commanders. And I think today's one, Nadu, the Winged Wisdom, is one of the ones most people have been excited about. I've seen some chatter about it, but I decided, okay, I'll do my take on it. Now, as usual with the MH3 things, commanders, sorry, I haven't looked at the full set yet, so there may be some cards in the full set that I haven't picked up on that you may want to substitute in. If you have any ideas when you're looking at the deck text this week from MH3, please let me know in the comments down below. We can upgrade them. And then once the MH3 hits MTGO in a couple of weeks' time, we'll get them played on the stream, and you can come and see all that on the stream. There's a link to Twitch down below if you want to go over there and give me a follow. And yeah, please, if you can, subscribe here. Lost a couple, gained a couple, lost a couple, so I'm sitting at 429 as I record this one today. So please, if you can hit the subscribe button, help me out, get close to that 500 target, I'd be very happy. But anyway, going back to Nadu, the Winged Wisdom. 1 blue and green for a 3/4 bird wizard, legendary creature. And creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes a target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land, you get to put it on the battlefield, otherwise put it in your hand. And you get to trigger this twice a turn. Instead of just once a turn, just trigger twice each turn. And each turn is important because it means you can also trigger it in your opponent's turn. So this is what today's deck looks like while I'm playing around with Nadu. So, taking it from the top, I've gone a bit creature heavy, which may be counterintuitive, but there's a reason for it. So, kicking off with the Elusive Otter, so he can, comes in because the adventure can target a creature. It's a spell that targets. Does mean you get to do the whole. Let's have a look and see if we've got top land or not, or card draw. So that works. Elvish Mystic gives us a bit of ramp along with Fire Noid Elves and Landwire Elves. We also have Bristling Bill in here because that does target as well, and that is an ability. So yeah, it does. When you put your +1/+1 counter on a target creature, you are triggering an ability. Therefore, you will get the go ahead on that. Because we're in blue green and we're worried about triggering things, we like spells that cast target things. So targeting something on Nadu, then get a copy with the Ivy as well is always a good plan. Kinnan, the Bonder Prodigy, is also here just to help us with our mana a little bit and maybe do the top 5 trick occasionally. Kiora's Follower, again another thing that targets, an ability that targets. You can untap one of your creatures, you get the trigger with Nadu's in play. Lona's Cryptozoologist is just here to help us get into our cards a little bit further down. Lotus Cobra for a bit of a land ramp. Seeker of Skybreak lets us untap a target creature. Again, another targeted ability. Though I'm now thinking about it, I'm not sure Bristling Bill works, but hey, it's +1/+1s when you're dropping lands. It's all still good. Clever Conjurer is definitely an ability. Untaps target permanent. You can permanent not named clever ability. Only activate as a sorcery. Yeah, it's okay. It's once a turn. You're going to do it in your turn, but we've got other things we can do to untap things in our opponent's turns. Endrick's here to help us draw the cards. We get the damage in. Azuri Renegade Leader is definitely something that's going to be an ability, and the green mana means you can give all your other elves. We have a few, Edric's here, the 3 ramp elves. Another way of targeting something with just 1 green mana. Irothi from the Healing House is also in from Lord of the Rings. Untap another target permanent or untap up to 2 target legendary creatures. Seems good to me. Kelpie Guide, another one that lets you untap or tap a target permanent if we control 8 lands or more. It does get to that point where it's actually quite useful to have a tap it down to stop a big attacker. Nissa Resurgent Animist is also here just to give us some land ramp and then maybe find an elf or an elemental. Puppeteer does the whole untapping thing for a blue mana instead of for free. Thassa, God of the Sea, is an ability, makes our target creature you control can't be blocked this turn, so that works out quite nicely. The Tireless Tracker's here just so we can get the clue tokens, have another creature that's reasonably good in blue-green as we know. Vizier of Tumbling Sands also untaps another target permanent. It does have a nice trop of untapping our lands as well if we need it to. Because we are targeting so many things, we have got some spells and instants that do it. It seemed a bit of a no-brainer to have all of the All form in the deck as well, because why wouldn't you? Chakram Retriever, whenever you cast a creature spell during your turn, untap target creature. Again, probably not an ability, it's a triggered effect. I'm aware of that, like Landfall is now I think about it, so Bristling Bill won't work, so I'm sure someone's already commented on that in the video. But untapping the creatures can help, cast a spell, you can untap, I don't know, your Vizier, for example, and then get another trigger that way if you want to. Merkfind Merc Fiend Liege is also here to pump all our creatures up and then untap all green or all blue creatures you control during each other player's untap step. So that's quite nice. It means you can do all your triggers again from things like the Kelpie Guide in someone else's turn. Seaborn Muse is obviously the obvious green creature inclusion in this one. Tap everything each upkeep, so lots of triggers with a bit of luck. Tatiova, Benthic Druid for a bit of landfall fun where you bet land, you draw a card, gain a life, that's fine. Asi, the Tyrant of Gaia Sage, is also here just so we can get an additional land drop each turn and draw cards when we play lands. To back this all up, we have Rampaging Baloths and Avenger of Zendikar to do our landfall tricks. And finally, Coma Cosmos Serpent is also here. This is actually an ability because we have got the code on there. I've just remembered what ability is. And we can sacrifice Serpent and choose one. Tap target permanent or Coma Cosmos Serpent gains indestructible on the end of turn. Can't be countered, gives you a way of winning the game later on. We have all of these lovely little instants now that basically target things. So Aspect of the Hydra pumps our creatures up. Blossoming Defense gives them +2/+2 and hexproof. Enter the Unknown, we get to do the old targeting and exploring and hopefully play an additional land. Explosive Growth gives +2/+2, and if we really need to kick it, we can do the whole 6 mana. Probably going to be the 1 mana 2/2 +2/2 at some stage. For the Family does the same thing, and then if we control 4 more creatures, we get +4/+4 instead of +2/+2. Nice one. Giant Growth, the traditional one, we had to have that here. Slip out the back, saves a creature. It's really great if you put the +1/+1 counter on Nadu and then it phases out so no one can destroy it. It gives you a bit of protection for Nadu. Aggressive Urge, +1/+1 on a card draw. Aim High, untap target creature. It gets +2/+2 and gains reach. So, you know, all the things. Cyclonic Rift to control the board a bit. Fanatical Strength, +3/+3 and Trample. Inscription of Abundance. We can do this. This just targets a creature. It's a spell. It targets, it triggers, it's fine. Mana Drain for some control as well is here. Land Ramp in the form of Nature's Law Rampant Growth and 3 visits. So they're all in as usual. Repulsive Mutation is something I forgot about for Murders at Karloff Manor. Quite nice, you got a bit of mana kicking around. Put X +1/+1 counters on target creature, then counter up to 1 target spell unless its controller plays mana equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Yeah, so you can do the X, and then if you've got a big creature in play already, green and a blue for a counter spell, that will throw people off, I'm sure. Simic Charm does the whole gives you the whole choice thing, +3/+3, or permanents you control gain hexproof or return a creature. Animus Might, just for a little bit of let's kill the big thing by making sure this works out that way. Hunter's Prowess, until the end of turn, target creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to that player, draw that many cards. That is very useful. You do like the card draw in this deck. Verdant Confluence is just choose 3, +1/+1 counters everywhere, or possibly return target permanent from our graveyard, or if we do it early in the game we need to get some basics out, we go and get the basics. Not much in the way of artifact ramp in this deck because of the elves and the instants, but we've got Soul Ring, Arcane Signum and Talisman of Curiosity. The other 2 artifacts let us do triggered things, so tap or untap with Puppet Strings, and Staff of Domination gets to untap target creature, tap a creature or draw a card depending on the mana we've got available at the time. Enchantments wise, Roaring Earth, basically whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, so it helps build up your creatures a bit. Hadana's Climb is quite nice. When we get it to flip over, it is an ability of a land, so giving a creature plus flying and +X/+X, where X is its power, is quite useful. Retreat to Coral Helm lets us do the whole tapping or untapping thing if we need to. Retreat to Kadzu puts some +1/+1 counters around or gains life. Asceticism, I think I've said it right, it gives all our creatures hexproof basically, and then gives them ability to regenerate, which again is an ability, so helps out with triggering Nadu. Primeval Bounty, just small +1/+1s, 3/3s, non-creatures, landfall triggers for life gain. And the Storm of Saruman, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. Now, I've playtested this deck a couple of times. I had this in play once, and my first spell of a turn was Soul Ring, my second spell of a turn was Nadu, and 2 Nadus become very good very quickly. Land-wise, heavier on the forest than we are on the islands, but everything else is blue-green all the way through. A few search land with Broker's Hideout is here. Misty Rainforest is also here. We have gone with Reliquary Tower and Temple of the False God just to help us get there, but everything else is blue-green. And then we've got Yavimar, Cradle of Growth at the end to ensure that we always have access to green mana, because as you look at the casting costs or mana values downhill, the casting costs, there's a lot more green visible than there is blue. So I figured having that in here, even though we're playing more forests than we are islands, having Yavimar, Cradle of Growth seemed like a good plan to me. And that is it for today's deck take. I am looking forward to MH3 hitting MTGO. When it's hit the first stream that week will be our traditional draft. We always do a draft when a new set hits and see if we can snag a legend or two, save buying them. But if you can, like I said before, if you can hit the subscribe button, that'd really help me out. If you think there is anything from MH3 I've missed that you think should be in the deck, please leave me a comment down below and we can look at the deck when we get around to playing them on stream. But for now, thanks for watching today's video. I'll be back tomorrow with another card from MH3 that I've turned into a commander deck. Take care. See you soon. Bye.